Did you wrestling coaches?
Well, she wrote. She printed up 6 of them for
Oh,
me.
she did. Okay.
They met the guy in this area. He was into
It's a circuit board.
and the guy said, "Would you like to go in with me?" And
I just looked at it, I mean,
so
was a little earlier practice.
so they sold everything.
No
And all
problem.
his brothers lived in a
Better
house
get on
near
there.
here together because they had no money, and they put this company together, which was part of this. These buildings were built in sections as they got bigger
Feel like
and bigger and bigger.
Doing minutes.
And then they
I can
sold
try.
the company to Sunshine.
Centron, yeah, I was just gonna say
I
that.
think I'm doing.
No,
minutes.
that's been great.
And that was a huge, yeah,
One of my weakest points in college, but I can try.
that was a
Yes,
huge,
nice.
Centron was
nice
like, they
thing
did that big, they, remember they built that big building over
They
there?
built the one where the winery is now. So,
Like it's your
yeah,
first
it was
time.
Interesting, so that's what you need to do with your took
My third time. I don't know. All right.
You don't follow Robert's Rules of Order in counting?
I don't. Yeah, no. There's no need anymore. There's only one person on that. That's me.
When the cars here, I thought,
A one-man show.
There you go.
December is brutal,
yeah.
I mean, just in general, right? I think.
I don't know. I don't think we should worry too much about the others. We don't have a quorum, so.
Time to go.
3, yes, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3,
Joe said he's gonna be
7.
online.
No, we don't have a, oh,
Joe's gonna be online?
Joe is?
He said he'd be
Okay.
online for a minute and get here a few minutes later as he's
Okay.
transitioning.
And I haven't
I don't
talked
think we've
to,
met. I'm Julie Peterson,
Tony.
nice to meet you.
I haven't
You're an
talked to
official,
Tom.
right?
What's that?
Are you an official?
I am.
I love it.
Tom, what do you do for a living?
No, I'm sorry, it's
Tony?
Tom.
Tony.
Yeah, I'm a civil engineer.
Okay,
I design roads and bridges.
okay.
What company you work for is civil engineering again?
Kittleson.
Oh, yes. I think I run
Got some words, some
project with them on something. I forget
We're
what it was.
subbed on the bypass trail.
Okay,
Under
that one,
Greenworks.
maybe that's where I was getting from,
And I showed up to a pre-proposal for, as a member of the Newberg Traffic Safety Commission for
Oh, she was,
for another project. you know,
Uh-oh.
working on.
she was watching me.
Oh,
You guys have no idea who's doing the paving up on Cranium, who's gonna be
that's
doing it,
fun.
do you guys? No?
So Yamhill County Paving, they gave the contract to, I think, Knife River.
Knife River's doing it?
Yeah, they've been getting it all recently, the last couple of years, they give the county a really good price on asphalt.
Really?
Cause the county does all this, all the prep work, all the paver has to do is just come in and lay a pad down, and the
Wow.
county does all the
Okay.
flagging for them, does all the striping afterwards, the shoulder sweeping, it's
Can,
So,
can
Joe-
like a
Joe was-
neighborhood hire the county to do that stuff?
you don't want to.
It's way overpriced.
I have
or
a
what?
story for you on that, how we got our road paved. I'll have to tell
There's
you.
Tom.
hey, now we have,
I'll have to tell you.
Okay, now we have a
here.
quorum.
You can hire them off to the side when they're out there, but I wouldn't go through the
Hello,
county to do
Tom.
it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Hello, hi guys, how's it going?
going so far, so good. You make up the quorum, so thanks.
Perfect, yeah, no problem.
Never know, we may have to vote something in.
you start.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do a roll call. See, Roger Kulman,
Here.
Bob Travers, Tony Roos, and then the liaisons, Jason Fields and Jim McMasters, and then for the staff,
Julie
Julie Peterson. I got that one down, by the way. All right, let's do a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Did we have any agendas, changes? I don't think so. I
Did
just
you have
have this
addition?
one addition. And I was hoping that we can get to that right now, because other than that, we don't have much going on here.
We gotta do this committee stuff, we gotta get that committee stuff.
Yeah, but that's for us, right? I mean, that we don't have any gas, we don't have anybody to concern ourselves. Richard, how many people are on right now, as far as the Zoom?
I'm here.
Okay, that's it?
It's the holidays, bad holidays tough.
All right. So,
It's just Joe and I that are on the Zoom.
I was wondering, we can't see Joe, that's why I was asking.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, nothing much to see. Just me and my car. Sorry.
Okay, good enough. Well, thanks you guys for being part of it. I'm gonna read something that I gave to the liaisons. I don't know if I gave you one, but I have one here for you if you would like.
Sure, I'll grab it. Do you have it with you?
Yeah. Got one of these on here.
Oh, no, I have that. I have that.
No, it's another one.
Oh,
It's another page. I can't turn them fast enough, sorry. I just can't get them out open. Ah, there it is. Yeah, that's the one.
perfect. Good, thank you.
Okay, it reads, and I read this for anybody that's on Zoom that did not get this. The subject is a detailed request for information regarding the clubhouse and the third 9 holes development. Dear CPRD liaisons and staff, as a committee task with collecting vital information for the construction of the new clubhouse and the third 9 hole, we are reaching out to request further details that will aid us in our planning process. One key consideration is the potential inclusion of the CPRD administration offices within the new clubhouse structure. We believe that co-locating these offices with the clubhouse could enhance operational efficiency and foster better communications among staff and visitors. To help us assist with possibility, could you please provide the following information to us as a committee? Number 1, square footage requirements. What is the total square footage needed for the administration offices? It would be helpful to have information on any specific layout or space needed based on current staff and future growth projections. Number 2, current office space status. Considering the proposed changes, would it be feasible for you to sell, lease, or rent office space you currently occupy? If possible, please share details on the current market conditions and any factors we should consider regarding the existing office location. Your insight will be invaluable as we move forward with this project. We appreciate your collaboration and look forward to your prompt response so that we can proceed with our planning. Thank you. All right. Total shock, right? Trying to get this office over to the new clubhouse once it's built.
You know, the issue that I would see with that is by the time you have all the cars that are gonna be for all the different people, then all of a sudden all the parking spots start getting taken up instead of people who are gonna be playing golf, tournaments, this and that. And, I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks about it, but I would tend to keep them separated. I think that it's a great idea to be able to say, you know, we're gonna have our meeting at the clubhouse every once in a while, but I would think you'd wanna keep that, just me personally, I would think you'd wanna keep it separated. That's just me.
Okay, the floor is open. It was-
And the amount of room that it's gonna take would be substantial.
So I would say, you know, we do, the staff, we do have a lot of contact with each other. So that means that, you know, the basic service supervisor, myself, the recreation coordinator, the sports coordinator, the sports technician, the IT specialist, we all are together. I don't know if there's enough room for all of us over there.
We're building it, so we can have whatever we want.
Well, why would we build it though if we already have this space?
We're looking for financing. I mean, you have 1.2, that's what I've been estimated, $1.2 million that this is valued at. And that would go a long way with getting the third 9 and the clubhouse built.
Yeah.
And you'd have a place over there, you could even rent it back to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what we're gonna do with the building, if that's gonna ever take place, but it's just something that I came up with, this idea was months ago, almost a year ago, that, I'm sure the new superintendent, some of the people, how many people work here?
So there's there's 4 here, and then there's probably 10 on the other side.
On the other side here?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I don't know, is that owned by CPRD as
Mhm.
well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Fish rents it out, Rotary uses it a little bit, we have, other groups that use it, but our child care coordinator is here, our preschool coordinator is here. We have some part-time staff that have offices here, our marketing person is here.
And then here's the other thing, Bob. Beyond that, you have all the cars that come here, with all the kids that come here, okay?
Classes.
And so,
The cars?
yeah,
Being for fish?
no.
For staff.
And don't people bring their kids here to try on equipment and all of that stuff? So you'd have all of those cars. And if you wonder, what the heck's the deal with that, or what's the problem, is there's gonna only be so many parking spots. And I realize if we're gonna build another, a third 9, we're absolutely gonna have to have a massively, much larger, parking space.
You have a restaurant, it goes even higher.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge, but I will just tell you guys, as a board member, I would not be wanting to sell this piece of property to help fund something over there. I just don't know, I mean, I would be willing to listen to it, and if the rest of the board members were like, you're wrong, Jason, I just don't think it would be a wise decision.
I would say too, let me add that we have a big bay in the back. And back there, we have a lot of stinky athletic equipment.
Where is this?
It's over there on the other side. It is a huge bay. And we probably have 300 pairs of shoulder pads. We've got 200 helmets. We've got jerseys. We have uniforms. We have basketballs. We have all of our sports equipment. I would say that's, we would need a really big space for
None of that
that.
smells good either.
It doesn't
I'm sure
smell
it
good.
doesn't.
We have it oxidized once a year, but.
All right, so let's talk about another building or structure, because that's only one way that we can feasibly pay for this, that's gonna be needed and built.
I appreciate you looking at all the angles. I think that's a great way to go. But I think it would behoove this committee and other committees also to wait for the new superintendent to come online. Because in reality, that new superintendent, whoever that he or she may be, will be making recommendations to the board on things such as this.
Okay.
And I think it's really important that they be part of that before we start looking at different district properties to put into some other property and things like that. So I think that would be a wise thing to do.
So-
I mean, I right now with this property, I'm not sure where you got that number, but because it's in a flight path, you can only do so many things with this property. It's hard to sell because of that reason, is my understanding. That's one of the reasons we got this so inexpensively in the first place, is because Current Electronics could not sell these pieces of property because of that airport.
Okay.
So, just to give you some past history, so
Yeah.
that's where I look at things.
So what I would say, Bob, is there is nobody on this current board that is opposed to doing the third 9 and doing the clubhouse. That I'm aware of, there isn't a single person.
I don't know of anybody either.
So I know that as we get to that point, we're going to find the dollars to do it. We will figure out where.
Well-
Well, I wanna make certain, because
Get 'em.
if we submit this to you guys
Yeah.
without office space,
Uh-huh.
then it's done. It's, they're gonna, if it's another add-on that the engineers, architectural designers, have to add something onto that, it's gonna cost more money. Well, that's why I was gathering the information to see if indeed you have that idea or that desire to move the offices over there, the administrative offices only. I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
You can just keep it and rent this out or lease it out, keep that, and you won't have any problems at that point.
Yeah.
Rent it, buy it, or sell it, I mean. That was just other choice.
Well, I think it would be incredible to have our offices over there. I mean, it'd be spectacular.
But I think you
it's
brought up
just-
the right point.
Yeah.
Is that one of the problems that we're gonna face, whether it's a restaurant or a bigger clubhouse or whatever, is parking.
Parking.
Yes, for
It
sure.
always has been, ever since day
And
one, when we had
don't want
the
to,
meeting.
we wanna make sure that if the clubhouse gets built and the 9 gets built, that we have the infrastructure for golf.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't really worry about the district offices, I'd worry about, it's gonna be good for golf.
I think it's something, as we go through the metrics, Bob, is figuring out what do we as a committee wanna see in the clubhouse.
Mhm.
I think it's one of those options we could add on as part of, because the architect that comes on, that the district hires, is gonna come up with a slew of options that include a site plan based on the square footage. That's how the parking lot is designed.
Yep.
Or the number of spaces based on the square footage of the building. And if we tell them, here's what we want, you know, we want this many square footage of for pro shop or for restaurant or whatever else. Tell them, we'll give them the laundry list of things that we would like to see, and like to see 4 options developed for this footprint in the building and the associated, what that would take on the outside. That's all part of that schematic design that they're gonna come up with and present back to us with some costing. At which point the district can say, yeah, that's pipe dream, we're never gonna be able to afford that one, but let's look further at options 2 and 3. Or whatever ones we come up with, and we can write that into the RFP as an SD schematic design alternative of wish list and layout.
Okay. So now you know why I did what I did. Okay, I wanted to get it off the table if it's off the table. So I hear that.
I'm not saying it's off the table. I'm just saying that I don't think it's a wise choice to move everything over there when we have this over here. So, and especially.
How old is this place?
How old is this place?
Is this having any problems?
Oh, you know, we've put a new roofs on and so on and so forth. It's an older building, but it's not, it's very functional.
Okay.
So,
I can tell you there was a airplane that landed in the parking lot once.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And sometimes we'll be sitting in my office and you can hear them come in and it shakes the building a little bit.
Yeah.
And, every day I would say, you know, if I don't come home, then.
Yeah, well, boy, that seems to be a big concern.
Yeah.
well, it's pretty centralized for our staff too, to a point, because, I mean, we got staff on this side of town, we have staff on that side of town. We're doing that type of work and they come to the centralized point.
For maintenance and operations.
For maintenance operations, I think that's important, and so that's another reason, and they can pull their rig in here with their trailer and come talk to whoever, where they may not be able to do that over there.
Where's the equipment staged during the overnight? Is it here?
No, we used to stage it here, but
It's over at the maintenance shed now.
we have maintenance at the old Hoover Park pool, we have maintenance over by the armory, and we have maintenance out here at the golf course. So 3 different, so depending on where they're gonna travel in the district.
Yeah, you wouldn't wanna consolidate all the maintenance up there at the golf course.
No, you would not. No. That'd be horrendous. Let's pull the soccer goals over for storage.
That goes really well. I don't know, does it, the golf course Forest Hills has the foot golf baked into their course. It's really annoying. When you hit a hole in one, but the hole's this big.
All right. Anything else? No. Okay. So onward to number 5. Approve minutes from November 18th, 2024 meeting. And,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
okay, no discussions? Okay, and all in favor, if you are approving the minutes, say aye. Aye.
Hey, Bob, I
Aye.
wanna tell you that I really do appreciate you putting thought into that, okay?
But, into what?
into, having offices at the
Ah.
golf course. I want you to know that I do I do appreciate you,
Yeah.
you know, putting thought into that.
Thank you, thank you.
It's good to think outside the box.
I
It
wouldn't,
really
be-
is.
I wouldn't be doing it justice if we didn't ask these questions, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, somebody says, hey, what about our offices moved over there? Now I'd go,
I got an idea that a lot of people would absolutely love that, because we would have incredible views there, but the problem is if we take those views away from the patrons that are gonna be, you know, that we're serving,
Yeah.
I think that we're better
oh, I
off.
don't think so. It's gonna be a two-story, I hope.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like it, the first design rendition was a very tall building.
uh-huh,
So I can only imagine there's gonna be offices, and we've discussed offices, or some people have even written them down, that they'd like to see some conference rooms and offices and things like that, that, you know, we can utilize a bigger place. We don't have anything over there now. So let's say that I wanted to get a meeting going with some outside service group or what have you, like Rotary or, I mean, we've had talks about renting or going back over to a place like this, like we did with the cultural center, and having our meetings here. And then we pay for that, so got a lot of opportunity. That's it. Okay? All right, approved minutes. Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, public participation? Nope. All right, this is gonna be fast. Action items, committee reports. Roger? Hey, how are ya?
Sure. We've been collecting information, surveys from the golfers, and this is the latest information as of the 27th of November.
I think you might have one in
Is
there.
this- Are you handing it to us here?
Yeah, if you could
Oh, yeah, again,
put a few down, put 3 or 4 down there, that'd be great.
I guess we'll share.
Need another?
Yeah, please.
Right there. Oh,
Younger than I can get up.
Sure.
So, information's trickling in. I think we've pretty much captured most of the golfers over there. And we've probably got about 80 or so responses.
Is this different than what we saw last time?
Well,
This
we're
is
combining,
added-
accumulating.
We added
I got it.
November 27th.
Okay.
So we're just keeping you up to date, and in the far end on the right-hand side are all the totals, as you can see. And one example is how frequent do you visit or golf? You know, that was important. How many times do you golf there?
Are
Then we
these
have-
numbers slowing up with this season?
Oh, yeah, but it was a big rush in the beginning, because
Sure.
everybody wanted it, and everybody put their 2 cents in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and now they're just trickling in, like last week, I think after, a month, that we got about 12,
Yeah.
10
something
to
like
12 or
that,
something
yeah.
like that. And then there was 3 or 4 of them over there yesterday when I went by. So they're just trickling in now. But interesting information, you can gather a lot of what people think about what they would like in this clubhouse, just by looking at this. And we call it the Clubhouse Preferences Survey. So any questions on that?
No,
The
I like what I
last,
see though.
pardon?
I said, I like what I see.
Yes, the last,
It lines up
the
with
last
what I
page,
want.
the questions 11, 12, and 13 are just the comments, and it's just a listing. They haven't been summarized or anything. It may
Okay.
be something we would do in our report to the board in March or.
Yeah.
So they actually want a friendly staff.
I like telling no.
Yeah.
They've gone too far.
Darn those guys for
So
smiling
there-
every once in a while.
There's nothing written there on number 11, 12, and 13 on the last page. This is the questions, what we asked. What do you like or dislike most about the current clubhouse? So that's why, the number 11, that's,
Oh, got it.
yeah.
Outdoor heated driving range. Covered.
Outdoor heated
You
driving.
gonna get pro golf?
Well, I guess
Pro
you
golf.
could get, I guess
Yeah,
you
let's
could.
call him up, Jim.
Just
I was
be
just down in
gas.
Vegas and checking that out. It's pretty impressive.
I bet you in Vegas is great.
Oh my god.
So much better than Top Golf in Hillsborough.
Oh,
Yeah, I
it's
bet.
I was gonna say, I was at Redtail this week, and
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So why can't we do a
Terrible.
mini pro golf type thing? With maybe 6 bays times 3, and you can play the game out there. Kind of fun. Even if nobody's ever done it, I recommend it. It's great. Number 12 is, what enhancement or new features would you like to see in the new clubhouse? And then 13 is, what do you have any additional comments or suggestions? So there you have it on that. Anything else? You want to go to the next one? That's it. Okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
When you guys are all golfers, right?
Yeah.
When you, when you call the clubhouse, or when you try to make a tee time,
Yeah.
do you guys talk to staff, or do you guys or do you get golf now? When you,
Both.
on average, what do you think you get? I mean, the majority of the time, do you guys get staff picking up, or do you get golf now?
Again,
I can tell you, I will only talk to the staff, not Golf Now people. So if I get transferred to Golf Now, I just hang up and then call back later.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to deal with golf now
yeah.
either. Not too many do, and they know the secrets, because if you let it ring and they're busy, they won't answer, the staff. But the second ring that's immediate right after that, they usually answer.
Yeah. I was just curious.
system go away? I haven't been out here.
Huh?
They have the online system still.
Yeah.
Like where you can book online,
Yeah.
but yeah, usually I want to have someone at the course tell me it is booked and actually then pencil it in and put it in
Yeah.
themselves.
You guys just don't call Kellen directly, huh?
Yeah.
I've never had Kellen answer the phone yet. I'm sure he doesn't. All right, let's go to the next one here.
So, wow, I'm loud.
Who are we talking to?
That's Richard. That's Richard.
Oh, Richard. Oh, yeah.
So when you guys call in and you guys call back because you get Golf Now,
Yeah.
what's the chance of you actually getting someone? And how often is this?
100% of the time so far. I mean, it's like, if you let it ring enough, they're gonna answer it over there at the clubhouse.
And before it goes to Golf Now, how long does it ring?
I mean,
4 or 5 times.
yeah. It's a few times. I mean, it's one of those where if no one's picking up, then it will automatically route to Golf Now. So I don't know how many rings that is, but if someone at the clubhouse can take the call, I mean, they'll pick it up right away, 1 or 2 rings. But if it's after a while, then it just gets diverted to the call center or whatever at Golf
Yeah.
Now. So
I think it's 5 rings.
yeah.
Should we up it?
No, because people get irritated if it rings too much. So let it ring through, and if they're too busy to call back, they'll just say, hey, I'm looking for a place on Wednesday, blah, 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 they'll do it. Like I've done it, I'm sure once, but I'd rather talk directly to, AJ or Rob or one of the guys over there.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is I'm trying to make sure that the transfer, if not available, isn't too short. Make sure that there's a chance for it to get picked up even, because if it rings and they don't get to it right away, it can be a problem for the end user.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Okay, let's talk about the groups that we're gonna go and talk to. Roger, you want to talk about this?
Does everybody have a copy of this Bob, that Bob put together? Is it ready?
Yeah, it should
Put
be
it
in that packet.
Do the liaisons have a packet?
Yep.
You guys asked a question, I'm sorry.
Do you have the packet, and in that packet is
We're
this?
going to the CPRD questionnaire for local businesses and community groups.
Yes, okay.
All right. So we've kind of broken it down already to a degree on what clubs or groups or businesses that we feel that would be a good connection to ask questions, what they would like to see at our clubhouse, or would they utilize it, stuff like that. And so we're going to divvy it up. There's 4 of us here. Tom can't deal with it, except maybe back over there in Idaho, wherever. But
What?
You're in Idaho. Did you ever get a chance to go see that clubhouse that you were talking about a month ago or something?
Yep, the Lakeview. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you get a chance
Yeah.
to ask them some questions?
Yeah, the pro. I've been trying to get with the parks director to get some of his feedback on it. But yeah, from the pro that heads up the golf shop there, yes.
Okay. So on the right side of this are questions that we came up with, and you can add whatever. In fact, I think Jim or somebody last month spoke about that. So it's better to go ad lib in certain times whenever you're talking to people, rather than.
I'm not sure that was me, but okay.
Rather than reading. Okay, I'll give you too much credit. Okay. So anyway,
Bob, I think we need to have specific questions that every group gets asked, so you don't miss things.
okay.
Things can be asked, additional comments, but they ought to be specific questions for each location, so you don't get off track.
Yeah. So like for example, the tourism group that we had here, with Dennis and I can't remember the first guy. We had 2 others. The lady here that was there. You're saying that we should have a specific question or questions for each group like that.
That's my suggestion, yes. That way, we get the opinion from that group,
Yeah.
not just from one individual.
Well, this was meant for groups, not just individuals.
I know, but if you ad lib it, you potentially could get an opinion from one person and not the whole group. Because you didn't ask the same questions from everybody.
Yeah.
That's how we're handling when we're doing our interviews, superintendent search and so on.
Yeah.
We have only these questions, and these are the only questions you ask of each one of those candidates, so it's not skewed. So, yeah, I can understand why you'd want to do that. I mean, you can talk after the fact, but just get those questions answered.
Okay.
So, going back to our original conversation about the funding, so question 4, budget and funding. Yeah, why would we ask that question of community groups that are just looking to use the facility? We're trying to get their opinion of how they would use the facility. Because I can say Newberg High School, Sherwood High School is not going to care about financing and funding of the golf shop.
See, again, I mentioned that these are the ones that you choose appropriately to ask whoever you're talking to. And so instead of making like there are 5 groups with the same question and putting the 5 questions in the same line, their line items of these groups, then it made more sense to me just to put a big long list of it and say, hey, pick and choose what you think is appropriate for the local restaurant establishments or the Association of Restaurants. Or how about the colleges, George Fox? I'm sure they would know everything about branding and marketing, because they're doing a tremendous job doing that, so. It's just something that you can pick and choose on, and that way that I'm showing you, that's the way it was, it came to mind, how we can go about doing it. I'm more than willing to make changes, we are able to do that, yeah. By the way, who cleaned up the place? Looks great. Yeah, fantastic.
Threw away a bunch of old crap.
That's good to know.
I'm glad you noticed though, that's awesome.
I know, right?
Well, I noticed it when I was online and watching you guys.
Yeah, I was tired of it, I said, we just can't continue this way, let's clean it up.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. And then it's nice because you're constantly looking at that wall, by the way, from here. So after a while, that wall got real tiring. So, all right, so we gonna conquer that one here soon?
Well, I think, again, these are the groups that you've decided we're gonna contact.
Yeah.
We so then let's divide them up and say, I'd be willing to contact the local winery association.
Okay, we'll put you down.
I think all three of the educationals, I've got contacts through my referring to all of them.
You?
Yep.
Okay.
The bypass are getting ready to
All right,
sell.
Tony is taken now.
Project manager.
It suggests we have at least two committee members for each one of the groups, and then they could work together to develop the questions and then
Oh, I see.
make the contacts.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go there and talk to them personally, that's,
Well, how would we contact? Whether you do it by phone or whatever.
Yeah.
We should have.
We'll
Get people
on
begin
I would think so.
phase two.
No, but this is phase two
Conference
down
call.
there, it's not over here.
Oh, really?
all right.
I don't know if that's necessary.
I don't either, but it's an idea that,
If, so I think if two are available,
Yeah,
throw it
if
out
they're
there.
available.
You sure about that?
all right, let's see.
60%.
I could do, obviously, the early birds. I could do the community service clubs.
Yeah, they're,
In fact, I could do all of these. So put my name down for the local community service clubs.
Have you guys have anything going, you guys are only handling, you're only working on the third nine and the clubhouse, correct? You're not looking to have any input on what's happening on the phase two for the Dundee bypass?
No.
Okay.
I thought that was already settled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's gonna be all configured.
well, it's already,
I thought it was already.
it's already configured, it's just, jumping through the hoops as it moves
Yeah, right.
along.
Are they going to put a bridge
Yes.
there?
Mhm.
Or how much, do you have any idea how much square footage we're gonna lose on hole
I
number
think that
4?
they're taking and giving is what I,
Yeah, Casey knows that information.
yeah.
Okay.
My understanding when I spoke to Don a long time ago is he said they were taking property, but they were gonna give us property.
Oh,
Give remnant on the south side of Fern, south side of Fern.
That was done 15 years ago. We put that we made sure that we
Oh,
weren't
is that
gonna get
right?
on the short end of the stick on that thing. So that was done a long time ago with the hospital, ODOT, and us, and the city. Yeah.
all right. Hey, Julie, were you a part of CPRD when they started getting money for the property? How long ago was that? Was that 20 years ago?
Getting money for what property?
For the club, the club, golf course, sorry.
I'd have to look back. I'm not sure.
Well, you weren't part of that, then.
No.
You don't have any clue. You were, though. You were here. In fact, you're the only one that I know that's still
That's
here.
left alive, yeah.
But anyway, you took a loan out, I'm told, that's what Don Clemens told us, took a loan out for both of those properties. And that's how you got away with building it.
We went to revenue bonds
Yes.
but you know, when you do that, it's a tricky deal, and you gotta have folks that wanna buy those bonds, and you gotta have banks that are gonna pay for that, and so it's a whole different ballgame. And that gets back to things that I've talked about when I've been here about the feasibility study and the financial analysis and all those things. They won't even touch you unless they know what you have factually. Because, you know, it's like investing in anything, you want it to work,
Of course.
and you want to get your money back. And the other way that they would get their money back, if all of a sudden things went south, is they would start taking assets.
Yeah. Well,
So you gotta be careful.
They can catch all the recycled balls they want out there.
That's true. That's true. You can do that.
Can we get back on the groups?
Sure.
I suggest that we tap Dennis to do the visitors to tourist
Travers.
organizations and the local hotel motel associations.
I agree.
Will you guys just speak to Kellen and ask Kellen if this, whatever they're doing, this bypass, is that gonna affect anything as far as what we wanna do for the
I've already
clubhouse?
talked to him about that, and nothing's gonna happen over on that side
Okay,
of where we're building it.
okay.
And
All right.
all the way over to Wilsonville.
Yeah, 18 the side of 18 will get opened up a little bit on that side of Fern Hill, and then everything on Fern Hill, right? But the, yeah, it's just cutting off that golf. that
Is your
side.
company working on it?
We're not. I'm just intimately following it because it's my line of business.
Yeah.
But the funding for that bypass is it's not gonna be in this next round of 3 years about funded projects. It's just not. They're gonna put all their money towards maintenance and sustaining what we have and finishing off the last two House Bill 2017 projects. So the Dundee bypass to go from Rex Hill to 219, you're at least another, my opinion, 10 years out.
Really?
Wow.
Okay. Do you want to jump in, or do you have any time at all to?
I have no problem reaching out to some golf courses. I had mentioned that there's a course up in Washington, Mint Valley,
Okay.
that is owned and operated by the Parks and Rec Department up there in Longview. So that one was just intriguing to me because of it being a similar situation, right? Like
Uh-huh.
golf course that's owned and operated by the Parks and Rec. Wildwood, I mean, I'll reach out to as many golf courses as possible. Wildwood one, I know the GM there, played golf with him, talked to him, I've gone there many times.
I like their new clubhouse.
Yeah.
They refreshed that, turned out really nice.
And that's one of those where it's a great clubhouse, but I'm intrigued to see, whenever I've been there, they have a great outdoor area. They don't really have anything indoor, but I'm intrigued to kind of see how operations go about there, because it's a nice looking clubhouse. But I would be intrigued to talk to Aaron, who's the GM there, about what's worked, what hasn't. Because yeah, they totally redid it a few years ago,
Well, then they would have.
and they could tell us like this was worth it, this wasn't. You know, as far as what they use it for, if they do a lot of it. Granted, it's up north near Scappoose, almost. So, but yeah, I'll reach out to as many courses. But I mean, those are two at least that, again, as far as one that was most recently redone is Wildwood, and then the Mint Valley one up in Kelso, I think it is owned and operated by their Parks and Rec department, and they have like a restaurant. They have an event space. So I'm just intrigued to learn more about how they went about getting that.
Good.
Again, what's worked and working with Parks and Rec, what's efficient for them. So.
Me too, these are my
All right, great. So I got you down for Wildwood, and then this Mint Valley.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Those are the two that,
The other two.
but again, it's like any of these golf courses, the company I work with, we work with Langdon Farms already.
You do?
So, yeah, so like talking to the management there, just outside of the realm that we already do, is something that I can easily do.
Would you do it?
Yeah.
All right.
No problem. Yeah.
See, that was easy. Let's just ask people.
Yeah. OGA, the Oregon Golf Association, I could do that one as well.
Okay.
I talked mostly with the director of membership, but he could get me in touch with the right people there. So.
All right, well, I know the superintendent over there at Westland Oregon Golf Club. That's a private club. And I'll take that. Okay.
Yeah, OGA, Wildwood, Langdon, and then.
So I got you,
Mid Valley.
got you down for Oregon Golf Association, Wildwood, and Langdon Farms.
Yeah, with that Mid Valley. Yeah, I can do those four.
And Mint Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want, does anybody want to do the Salem Golf Club?
Are these all public courses?
Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Yeah, Wildwood, Langdon, OGA are public, and then yeah, the one I mentioned, Mid Valley, that's a public one, but them being Park and Rec owned, I just thought that'd be, you know, very similar to obviously our situation, that it'd be good to get input from them, so.
Is it, doesn't the city of Portland have a few golf courses too?
Portland?
Yeah, yeah, City of Portland. Yeah, they have,
I think there are 5.
yeah, it's Eastmoreland.
Red Tail.
Red Tail, and that's a whole nother situation. Gosh,
Heron Lakes.
yeah, Heron Lakes,
Blue and green.
both of them, yeah, but they don't have Glendevere. That's, I think they're just on their own,
It's
but
a
yes,
little Colwood.
yeah, they own and operate a few of them, yeah.
So you're thinking relating it to the district here, they own, they're a city municipality?
Yeah, I think that I think when you're looking at a district, if this is a private course, I just raise all the fees.
Exactly.
So I would look at, and I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, my suggestion is to try to go apples for apples, park districts, cities, you know, that are, you know, public-oriented facilities, because that's what you are. If you were private, that'd be a whole different ballgame too financially for you guys.
And I agree with you, there's just one thing that needs to be addressed.
And I'm talking out of ignorance, so.
What? You're talking
I'm
out of
talking
ignorance?
out of ignorance here because I'm not sure, I'm just saying I would want to compare.
So let me educate you.
There you go.
We're gonna ask all of these individuals or groups or, you know, the private clubs or what have you, about their clubhouse. That was initially what we were going to do.
Okay.
So to gather information about a clubhouse is different than how do you feel about this, or, you know, how is this going, or whatever. Like, it'd be nice to know if weddings are a problem, if they do weddings, because we've talked about that. We want to present that into the packet. But those are the things. That's the reason that we address the local public and private
Okay.
clubs. Okay. Are you happy with that?
We've still got, well, we've got the local real estate companies was one of them. Nobody's willing, I'd be willing to talk, try to work some questions and see.
If you can come up with some questions, yeah, by all means,
Okay.
I'll work with you on that one.
Okay?
I mean, we know Rob Molzon and a lot of others that
Yeah.
are still with it.
Might go talk to the Langers about what they did out the issues they're having with their center.
I wonder if we could talk about to
Langers?
the
Yeah.
Austin Industries.
Something's happening out there where they can't utilize that whole big building.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
You mean, not the building, not the fun center?
Yeah, like that entire
Something's
second
happening.
floor is not usable.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, the,
Are they closing?
what do they call that?
Oh, it was like the overhead, like,
Mezzanine?
The rope course?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I've sat in that bar and watched those kids, and it scares me to death.
Aren't
It
they
scares me more
tethered
to see
though?
the adults up there than
Yeah,
to see
they're
the kids. The
tethered.
kids are just like, "Thurr," and the adults are when they're, you know. I'm surprised they got that even
Insured.
approved.
Is it still open, did you say?
it's closed right
It's
now.
closed
It
now.
is?
Yeah.
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 Something happening.
Yeah, just curious lessons learned that we could apply to ours.
Yeah, well,
Have
we
an
won't be doing
overhead
that
rope course.
anymore.
Easy answer.
The
Yeah.
less liability, the better.
Yeah, really.
But I think that property next to them, aren't they building, they're gonna do a
Go-karts.
go-karts.
I think that's what they're trying to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we ought to do pickleball here too. You know, just
Swimming pool.
and a swimming pool. Did you see that? There's 5 people that want a swimming pool.
I don't think that's gonna fly.
I heard that Newberg has a pretty nice facility already.
Yeah.
actually.
You
That's-
think?
that-
I don't know.
When it was
Not,
back.
not an outdoor.
Pretty
facility.
chlorinated, I think. I'm just kidding, by the way. I don't ever go in there.
It's okay.
Judy does. She has rash all over her
She's the
body.
one that counts.
All right, what?
Bob, to stay on our schedule, the idea is to have all these meetings occur and reports by the end of January.
Correct.
So just wanted to kind of remind you about that, and then maybe the different people that have agreed to contact these things could develop the questions they're going to be asking and just pass them on to the committee maybe by the end of December. Is that feasible?
The sooner the better. If they're gonna go and see them in December, then obviously,
But yeah, they submit their list, the questions or what they're going to be asking to the committee.
if that's what you would want them to do.
I'm just suggesting that. You're the chairman, so.
Well, co-chair. Everybody knows he's a co-chair, right?
Yep.
Tom does real well. All right.
So that's just a suggestion on timing to get things done and moving.
I thought we had the questions to kind of free flow with, so we're asking the similar questions, but we're not gonna ask all the questions.
No, not all the questions. They're just choose appropriately.
Yeah.
But if you have another question that I missed, then, or even Roger had a part of this. In fact, the bullets here, or excuse me, the headings are the ones that helped me considerably when you found them. So thank you. But yeah, any questions that you might feel to be more adequate than some, or maybe additional?
Another course that probably want to add is that one Centennial down in Medford. I forget who was here that was talking about
Steve
it.
Paulson. He's down.
That was Don Loving. I think Steve brought that up too, that was a good one to take a look at.
Yeah. And just seeing pictures of it, it's a very like interesting setup about like, because he was right, it's like how small it is, but also how they're able to utilize the space for everything, whether it's tournaments, events, regular golf shop activities, like, so, yeah, I'll add that as well.
What's it called?
Centennial. It's the one down in Medford. I believe it's Medford.
Yeah, it's Medford.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No.
Is there
Let's
does
do that.
Dillon have a list of other groups that rent the course out for big events like, I'm just assuming Newberg High School uses their golf team, that's just a rotating, they have a
Don
reservation.
doesn't,
He has a list of, so they have tournaments.
Ken,
You mean, you're talking about tournaments?
Yeah,
And stuff like that. Like, I think our biggest tournament is Oregon Egg. That is the one where you drive by and you see like 100 white pickups parked in the PCC grass. But yeah, he has he has a list of people who regularly. That's a yearly tournament. And he would have a list of that.
that's what I was looking for, yearly tournaments, people
Yeah.
that come back year after year.
Mhm.
Be worth reaching out to some of those organizers.
Yeah, I think like
Our-
Newberg basketball does one, I believe, also.
Baseball, the youth baseball program
Yeah.
has one out there. Most of them are, they are very, very regular.
Our Rotary Club has
Fundraisers.
our annual tournament there.
Yeah.
This will be the third. year.
Kiwanis.
Boosters, I think, does too, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, you also
Booster
have
Club.
St.
Yep.
Peter's Church, they have one there. Young Life, there are a lot of them,
I think
In fact, he
ORPA
says,
has one
what,
out there.
12 or, I don't know how many he says we have
Yeah.
every year.
More so, it increases you know, all the time. That's why the third night is so important, right? Because you have so many tournaments
Yeah.
that take up the weekends.
Okay. All right, let's get down to the CPRD board and staff comments. Anybody?
Yeah, I'll make some comments. Right now, we're in the middle of the selection for the superintendent. I can tell you that we have a lot of good applicants. So it's going to be the board having the final decision, but with that said, the public is important to us as far as viewing some of these applicants. We're not sure how many we're gonna have in the final round, but we will be having the public with a meet and greet in January, first part of January. So they can also give the board feedback on what they may think. So I'm pleased with what we received. We were told we may not get a lot of people because this is the way things are, but there's a lot of folks, especially in the public realm, working for cities that would rather work for a park district. And one of the reasons that is because parks and recreation and libraries are low-lying fruit in a city operation. So if the police and fire and infrastructure needs money, they kind of take it from the Parks Department down here. So when you're a park and rec district, the voters are saying, we collected these taxes just for you to provide park and recreation facilities and programming and so on. So there's some really qualified people, and I think you guys should be pleased with the final choice.
So yeah, I was watching the board this month, and I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
As you were, hearing that you had, what, 18 or 19? 14 applicants? Maybe not all viable, but that's why you're weeding it out.
Sounded like there was.
Oh, is that right?
I heard there was 19, I had heard 19.
I heard 19.
14 that were, 15 that were viable.
Right,
That's
okay.
Yes, okay.
And the meet and greet is gonna be January 6th at the Cultural Center. And, we don't know what time yet, but
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
talked to
of
Lisa Rogers
What day
today
is
about
that?
that.
planning.
I don't know.
Well,
January
tentatively at the-
6th?
It's a Monday.
Tentatively at the cultural center, we don't have a for sure yet, unless there's something else.
I did talk to
Since-
Lisa today and Sean said that,
So we're good?
we were good, but that we needed,
First Monday.
I mean, that they're closed that day.
Right, so we'll
We
take
would
care
use
of
some
it.
of their staff to help with, because we will have to have a,
What?
Good,
you know,
good.
Richard will be there and
That's great.
all that, so.
That's good.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, I can't wait to find out who it is. All right. So, anything else, board?
You got a great Santa Claus beard going on.
Thank you, sir. Had a fun time, a couple of the parties that I went to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you folks are doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it was a rough start, and because we were just going like this, and where are we gonna end up now? It's all coming together, and it seems to be. The answers that we were getting are very, very encouraging.
There's one other thing I wanted to add, if I may, is that we've used a certain architect for a lot of our facilities here, the pool and cultural center and so on. And so they also built or designed Brandon's Dunes, new facility down there, their clubhouse.
Really?
So Scott Edwards and Associates. And they and I everything's Zoom now, so they were gracious enough to do a lot of pro bono for us. I mean, I'm glad they got the job, and they did a good job, but they did a lot of work ahead of the game. So just something you might want to. I don't know if you know them. And
I do. I've worked on I know at least one project, if not two, that they were the lead architect on.
anyway, so there's just, I'm just throwing it out there that they're out there, and we've worked with them before and had good success with them.
So they worked on the cultural center and everything
They worked
here.
on the cultural center, they worked on the swimming pool, they did
And
some
they-
stuff on Sanders Estate,
And they did the Abandoned Dunes Clubhouse.
and they did, yeah, and I just saw that in an advertisement that came across.
Yeah, yeah.
It was one of their clubhouses.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I've never been there, so I guess they've got a few.
There's a lot of interest in this clubhouse in the architectural community right now. There's,
Oh, I'm sure.
and the folks we've talked about, there's not very many of them being built or thought of. And it's one of those things that they go for awards on
Oh, that's
facilities
what
like
they did with the
this.
aquatic center, and it got them other business.
Yep.
With our aquatic center, and now they're just finishing up Lake Oswego's new facility. Yeah, so it's, but they hope, they give, and they hope that they get in the end.
Well, so correct me if I'm wrong, do we not have to put it out to the public for a request?
In this case, I don't think so, because we're not asking them to, we're just saying, would you be interested in doing this pro bono? We're not hiring them. We could just say, we don't want you. Just like the fellow that did it before for us, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that you have to do that because you're not hiring them.
So as long as it's pro bono, you're okay with that?
I'm not 100% sure, we might wanna check with legal on that, but I think that it's different than, but I mean, they're gonna get a step in the door possibly, and just like the other fellow was hoping that he would get it. But, so I'd have to look at it to check, but free's a good price.
Oh, absolutely, and the reason I brought that up is because I started calling some architects to see if they're interested in giving us a proposal. And every one of them, there was 3 of them, every one of them said yes, for sure. I said, well, yeah, you're gonna have to call the CPRD office and put your name down on it. So, I don't know what's happened at that point, but I know there's a lot of interest in architects taking this on.
Yeah, cause I know for the aquatic center, basically it was, they put together a drawing of, after they met with the staff and the communities, they put together a drawing of what we think we'd like in the community. And then we went ahead and, cause we needed something to advertise it, just like you guys need a picture.
Did you give them any picture of what you want?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just like what we're doing here, we're gathering information to figure out what people
Well,
want
you gave them an
first.
idea, but you're gonna give any architect an idea, and they're gonna look at flow and everything else, they're gonna say, well, no, this isn't gonna work, or yeah, this will work.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll tell you straight up, but they always want, I think a good architect is always gonna want your ideas.
Well,
And
that
they may
would be
say this
smart.
is phooey, but they may say, that's a great idea, I never thought of that, you never know.
Yeah, all right.
I also wanted to mention that we are very fortunate to now have a project manager, essentially.
Yeah, you hired somebody?
His name is Gary.
We need to back up there a little bit. We hire
He's a
him
contractor.
on contract for a limited amount of time for certain projects. Whether he would be willing or whether we're interested in hiring or whatever in the future, that's a possibility. But so far, he has a good schematic on how he's gonna handle a couple of our projects.
Yeah. Why
And
not
he's-
just leave them that way?
Well,
As
see
an
how it works
independent
out.
contractor.
See how it works out.
He spoke at the last board meeting. I
Yeah, you
hadn't
probably
met
saw
him.
on the line.
Yeah, he
You're
was
watching.
real sharp. He was a superintendent at North Clackamas, has a lot of experience. And so that's something that we haven't really had in the past. We had Mr. McMaster, and he had other jobs and did all of them really, really well, but that's going to be helpful moving forward.
Okay, comes down to the comments from our meeting. No, staff is already, are you done?
Yes.
All right.
See that architecture firm, they did the new Lake Oswego rec and aquatic center too?
Yeah, they got that job.
Yeah.
They got Oswego was jealous.
What?
of us.
They actually came and toured.
I'm
Were you
sure
here when
they
they toured the aquatic center
Oh, yeah.
prior to building?
Well, it's interesting because that is acting as a clubhouse as well for their new 9-hole, their executive course, right?
Yeah, I just read today that they're they're hoping to open mid-February the pool facility, but the golf course, they had to make some changes or something,
Yeah.
a trail or something, I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
So that the golf course is not gonna be done their part yet, is what I saw. Do you have anything info on that?
I just looked it up online the other day, I just saw dirt,
Yeah.
waiting for the grass to grow.
Yeah.
Easier to fill a pool than it is to get grass to grow right now.
Yeah. They'll be waiting till spring.
All right, so, finishing up here, we are now going to ask for the committee members to, if they have any comments. We'll start with Tony.
I just found out through talking to my architect friends that there's the guy that designed Bandon and other courses lives in Bend. And I just found that out, thought it was kind of interesting. World-renowned golf
Oh.
course designer.
Well,
Oh, is that right?
he's
He
local
lives
here
in
in
Bend,
Oregon,
that
yeah.
close. Maybe we ought to call him.
That's, yeah, RTK, something like that.
well, and didn't Jeff, who takes the minutes and everything, he worked at Bandon,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So if you can write that down in the minutes to contact Jeff to call whomever it was.
Delegation.
There you go. Joe, you have anything?
No, I'm all good.
Roger?
I just have a question. We've been working on this schedule to hopefully have information to the board so that maybe they would be able to take the next step and to actually do some of this feasibility study type stuff. And I know that's gonna take money, so need to get a budget item put together so the board could take a look at that as a potential
Right,
item.
the staff will be working on their budgets, usually they're to the board by the first part of March.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, then we go, so if it's gonna be in the budget, we'll have to have a number and the board will have to, and then the budget committee will look at that. But the superintendent will have to approve it going into the budget too.
But Kellen's budget, I can confirm, will be turned in, March 1st.
March 1st.
Somebody's gonna get a head start.
So again, the idea was to be able to get something in the budget for 2025, 26 to do this feasibility study if the community.
Yeah, I can't
support-
speak for the board, but, you guys have been pushing towards that. So I'm sure we'll take a look at it, but I can't say it's going to be there or not.
No, I wasn't asking you,
Yeah,
The
and
commitment,
again,
but
and
just
again, I
to try to make
want
sure
the new
that-
superintendent online to look at this too, for sure. But I know that, the golfing community wants this, so we're not taking that lightly.
And what will be helpful? What will be helpful is you do have the fee, the GL code where you have the $5 tacked on, right? So I think there was $158,000, that was 2 months ago. And Amber wasn't around today, so I didn't get the amount that's in there now. But my guess is it's, up to 170 something around there. And so there is some money there, and I think that money was maybe potentially identified for the feasibility study. I don't know how much that,
so I guess my question is, that's what we're trying to get to. Could the board ask staff to have an idea of what that number might be to be able to put in the budget?
For a feasibility study. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I can reach out to SEA or a couple of other architects and just get a ballpark idea of what that schematic design budget would be for a facility like this. And then we can put in, and that'll generate some interest in people helping sketch things out. But and then we can ask through Kellen to get that added to his budget for the year.
Well, I guess that has to be directed though through this.
Yeah, I think
From staff and-
that might be a good way to go. I mean, I don't know I remember, I'd have to look back at what it cost for the pool, but we did that too. So we didn't just build it, we made sure that hopefully it would pay for itself.
Yeah, well, you had taxation going on there, didn't you?
Hmm?
Didn't you have
before we went to the bond, we did a lot of polling and so on to make sure that it would go. We just didn't go out for a bond. So, and we did a huge education, a year of education to our constituents about what was gonna happen, and that's why we passed overwhelmingly.
Huh?
So,
All right.
So I guess
but that'd be great if you could do that.
my question is making sure we can kind of get all the groundwork, base work done so that that's
Yeah, we don't have to.
I mean,
possible.
there's so many ways to contract this to do it through an architect, or they can bring a team together with some financial advisor, financial feasibility economist, that's what I'm looking for. Bring that whole team together to say what it is, what's gonna make financial sense to build here, what's the footprint look like for the building and the associated parking lot. And they can bring a whole team to get to a 10% concept design and price that we can say through the public, put that out there and say, what do you guys, here's some options, pros and cons, what do you think? And then use that data to refine the design, to go and either, at that point, you'd have enough information to either do a design build, where the district gets a price cert right now and gets construction faster, or go traditional, design it all the way and then go out to a bid and design bid build environment.
And again, we'd have to look at the financial end of this, and whether, we gotta get the feasibility study for those folks to look at it to see if the business plan and the financial makes sense.
Yeah, that's that 10%, you get that,
Right.
you get that overall rough cost, you know, I call it a ROM.
Mm-hmm. I think you
Thanks,
should be in
guys.
charge of that as part of the committee, and I'm just throwing you under the bus on this.
So what should we be in charge of?
He should be in charge of looking for, because that's the point. What he's talking about is what, as a board member, as a taxpayer, I'm interested in. That information is key, and to do or die on this project. So if you're willing to take that, and I don't want to be, I'm not part of your committee, but I think that's just a huge step.
But they're also gonna wanna know all the things we wanna see in it to start scoping it out.
Which you're
So I
doing.
think our January 31 meeting will set that, our date, February, we'll be able to refine down our lists of, between what we get from the results and our interviews, we'll have a good list of things we want to see, prefer, and a ranked choice by us of top 5, 6, 7 things we wanna see. And then give that list to the group of architects to propose on a schematic study.
I guess what I'm just trying to do is figure out what has to be built by the base to be able to get into a budget, for a budget item.
Well, we'll go back 2 or 3 times for, depending on how we contract this out. So the first one, this first contract, first schematic design, it'll take that $150,000 and we'll cap it and say, for $150,000, architect, what will you give us back? And that'll be part of our selection criteria for that architect firm. And then they'll give us the schematic design and the cost, the ROM, help me out, Tom, what does the ROM stand for?
ROM?
Yeah.
Rough order of magnitude?
There you go. Order of magnitude costing. I use construction estimates, but that's not the right term for buildings, I don't think.
Yeah.
But, so we get that 150K approved, whatever number we're gonna target for that, to get to a ROM and a schematic for what the site looks like. And then we go back, we, as a board, as a committee, recommend to the board what we think we should go forward with. And then the district will put it in their budget for that, either the next step for a design, because that ROM would come with the cost to design and permit the whole thing, or if we get confident enough, we can just ask for a full-on design build contract. And so either way, we can go back to the board, or the board will budget it 2, if not 3 times to add it in, as we just step up the level of detail that's added.
Well, I don't know where we're gonna be as far as a committee with all of that. We only have 2 years to.
This could be done in 3 months. It's not.
Yeah.
We can go like a bat out of hell on this part.
All right. Tom, you have something? You wanna close it out?
No. I was just gonna say, I was agreeing that it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get, get the ball rolling on this and get that feasibility study going and get it done. So it's not a 6-month, 1-year process. It's 2, maybe 3 tops, I guess. I mean, I don't spend a whole lot of time on the developer, that side of things, but from a construction standpoint, what I've seen is usually it's 6 to 8 weeks to get a feasibility study. If you've got your ducks in a row and you get them all the information and stuff, they can churn through it pretty quick.
Awesome.
It'll take longer to get an RFP put together.
Probably.
I've done a few of those.
Well, I don't have anything else. The next meeting is gonna be on the
13th?
second
January 13th.
Monday.
Let me ask Chris.
Yeah, January 13th.
All right, January 13th.
So I'll get to your office.
All right, and
Enjoy your grandkids.
with that, we are adjourned.